And next is Supergroup, which is involved in all of those kinds of things. Rowan will tell us in a bit. They do have a nice business doing the same thing in Australia. That's a market differentiator. It's got a market cap of 15.3 billion rand, which will be a reflection of how well they've done. We'll look at the share price in a bit. Price to earnings ratio is 14.61. For some reason, these guys are extremely stingy. They haven't paid a dividend in over a decade. I'm not quite sure why. What's the story there? Of course, they had severe cash flow problems, but that was like a decade ago. When are they going to start?
So I think they have been in really a rebuilding and now really a growth phase. So they've moved into an acquisitive growth phase. And so they feel that they can better deploy the capital in the operations, I guess, than divvy it out. And plus, they have done a lot of share buybacks, which is a form of returning capital. Certainly,
It's interesting because that is a debate and a bit of a differentiator between companies. It's sort of traditional to pay dividends, but there are many that argue that you can do a better job with keeping the money. What are the shareholders going to do with it?
And I think that's part of the success that we've seen in the business and coming through to the share price.
Now, remind me of the deals. So the Australia thing, that's the SG fleet thing that's listed, but there was a European deal in recent times where they bought something in Germany which does logistics.
So that's a business called In Time. Essentially is what they call a sort of virtual logistics business, because they organize trucks to deliver sort of just in time.
Like an Uber, but for trucking.
That's correct, yes. So it's very technology driven, and they don't own a lot of assets. They subcontract that all out. So and has been a successful acquisition, quite exposed to the German motor manufacturing sector.
By way of distributing vehicles that have been made with the
parts,
dealerships.
Getting the parts around as well. So so that's, but generally I think a very solid business, has good contribution in terms of the most recent set of results. They're also in the SG fleet business. They bought another fleet management business in there, called NLC. So that bolstered that business significantly. They also had a while ago done a motor dealership business in the UK, Allen Ford, which is Ford dealerships. So if you add all of those up, those are coming through.
Do you know that there is a Ford distributorship in the middle of America, which is like a tourist attraction because it's owned by a guy called Harrison, so people go there to take photographs of Harrison Ford. Anyway, I'm getting distracted here. Tell us about Supergroup. Let's look at the share chart. That's a nice one, eh?
I think what we see, this
no
has
wonder
been
you like them.
A very steady performer. It's very strong delivery operationally by management. Also very good capital allocators. So they haven't been paying out their dividend. They've been reallocating the capital into the operations and also into new acquisitions. And they haven't really put a foot wrong. There's a bit of diversification. They have seen sort of, for example, weakness in the African logistics business, but then the offshore businesses have picked up the slack and generally have had a very smooth and strong earnings progression.
And of course the market loves that.
Yes.
Still hot on it?
Yes, still hot.
Still hot. Excellent. Good. We'll go hot on that one too.